Hello there and welcome back. I got in the mail this nice new product, and it's a collaboration between my friend Loopop and Endorphines. And when Endorphines reached out and asked me, do you want to try it? I said, of course, everything that Loopop does, I want to take a spin on. So, +3, it's a very simple yet useful product. I'm not going to do a full demo on everything you can do with that, because you can check Loopop demo and nobody does demo better than him, especially on his product, I guess. But in the past few days I was thinking about minimalism and how you can squeeze the most out of one simple synth. But before going on, I have an exciting news. I partnered with RapidFlow and they just released my first masterclass today. It's gonna be a 4-hour-long lesson in which I will use my favorite hardware and I will end up with a finished song in my DAW. If you are interested in how to elevate your stereo recording into something ready for release, check the link down below and I hope to see you there. Let's go back just to give you a quick rundown of the product. The +3, called like that because it gives you a new way of expressiveness to way. Let me say that. It's called +3 because it gives you 3 ways to be expressive. It's called you +3 because It's called
+3 because it gives you 3 ways to be expressive with your instrument.
Go. It's called +3 because it allows you to have 3 more ways to be expressive with your instrument. 1 through expression slider and 2 with the sustain, which can be a hold or latch. So let's just go through the 2 examples that I did, and I will use them very clear with no other effects going on, so we can really see what does it do. So this is a 4-voice sequence. I have the kick coming out separately here because I don't want to mess with the effects with it, and the other from the main out come into the Exelon number 9. So what I did, I went here in the kit, and there's Control 1 and Control 2. Control 1 is gonna be my expression, and Control 2 these sustain buttons. So if you press here, you see that I have a macro set up, and this is the power of it. You can set up a lot of stuff with just the slide of a slider or a push of a button. So whenever I slide this guy, you see that here you have a control coming in. The cool thing is this is completely passive. You don't need to power it. It's light and sturdy. So it's something that you put next to you and it really is smart. Super simple, but super smart. So what I did, you can see, I managed to get a track 1. Whenever I push that up, I will open the filter, I will send more reverb and send more delay. And then on track 3, I will open the filter 2, and then the effects track, I will push the feedback of the delay. Let's just listen. I will tune down the kick because it doesn't do anything. So this is the bass. So, as you can hear, now I have everything going on, like I'm creating a lot of tension. Super cool. And it's super simple to set up. I'll tell you how. Then, I also have the sustain pedal, and let's see what it does on Control 2. So, this one, it's just like on or off. If I press, you see that it goes to 127. What this does, whenever I press, I decide how much control to send to track 1 reverb, so it sends more reverb. On track 3, it will close the filter. On track 4, it will kill the volume. Track 2, open the filter, and also open a tiny bit the filter on track 4. So basically, it kills the drum. Let's listen. The moment I press, the drum goes away. But as you can hear, with working with the filter and effects of the other track, I create a sort of interesting ducking effect. From here to here. This 2 button works in a nice way, because if I latch, so now it's like I'm holding that, this button will do the opposite. So if I press, I will deactivate what I'm doing here. And you can see, because right now I have full control on. And here it is. If I start mixing and matching the things, it's very nice. That's it. And these allow me also to start playing with the other stuff that I have in the case. For example, Data Bender and Mimeophone, which create these glitches. I can bring the Starlab and Magneto, opening up everything, creating tension, and then bring everything back and introduce the kick. So the cool thing of the Analog Four is that you can save 2 different control for each kit. So each kit will have a different setup, and this is great because you can set up your entire kits, your entire performance, and every time these 2 things can do a different function. So it's really powerful. In this case, I was using the main out because I wanted to use the internal effects. Let's go to the other example that I did. This one, I go through all the out, track 1 through 4, and they are here. And I set up the poly configuration in which they still voice to each other. That's another interesting thing. I will never have more than 4 sound at the same time. I think this is a super interesting concept. It means that if I use a pad that uses 3 notes, it will steal from the other tracks. You will never hear more than 4 sounds at a time, but that will allow you to have a lot of possibility to introduce effects without having too much going on and make things muddy. So this is a sort of a raster Norton inspired track. So this is the base of it. It's meant to have stuff going on. So I have everything, it's always clocked by the CV out going here. This is the base of it. I can bring Starlab in, and I have always on return to the Data Bender. With weird glitchiness. So, what does +3 do? The sustain kills some notes, some tracks. Let's listen. Let's go actually on the kit setup, Control 2. So whenever I press, I kill track 1, which is the kick. I kill track 3, that is this other sort of pad, and then it push. No, that's it. That's all the other things don't do anything. What instead the expression does, so let's go to it and let's see what happens. Whenever I push it, I change the sound of every track and I make it very weird. And I have the chance here to work with that until I want to bring everything back. I have also a lot of automation going into the mimeophone to create all of these glitches. So these allow me to have another layer of performance option because I can set up a lot of patterns, and then what I want to do and what I like to do is not creating patterns on the fly unless I'm using my performer, but play with the effects. And of course, with practice, you can have a lot of interesting results. Let's create something from scratch just to show you what you have to do to have an expression control into your synth. You have to calibrate any expression or sustain pedal that you use with the Analog 4. How you do that? You go in global, and here in global you will have control, and then you set the 1 or 2, in this case 1, and you would do expression learn. As you can see, without doing that on these first things, my expression don't go until the maximum. What you do is press expression learn, now you move up and down, and then yes, and automatically now it goes from lower 0 to 127. So you do that for both. You go on the other one, control input 2, and you want from 0 to the maximum. I already did it. To map thing, let's just load a new kit. I have also a new advice. Sometimes it's confusing when you use kit on Elektron machine because you change something on another pattern using the same kit and then it completely destroys your pattern. So what I do now, every time that I start a new patch, for example, is B3, I select load kit, and this would be 19 because I go by a bank of 16. So I select that one. It's gonna be a clear, simple one, and I will save it right away with the name of the pattern, which is B03. So I know whenever I need to load that track, I need to load that precise kit, and this saved me a lot of headache. Trust me, try that one. So, for example, let's create something. Let's make a sound that it's not this terrible. And let's put down very fast a pattern. As usual, random. And then I like to put some note slide. You have note slide in oscillator 2, press twice, and you have the slide amount, how fast the slide happen. For example, would be cool to set the slide amount with this. Let's try that. So, note slide. So let's add slide to everything. And let's put slide to 0. So now there's no slide. Let's go into the kit and we set Control 1. Now Control 1, it works. So track 1, to change track, you press the button. So we are in track 1, and now we select the destination. So it should be oscillator 2 slide. Let's see. Here it is, note slide. You have to press yes. Now you have to decide negative amount or positive amount. We want positive amount, and we want 127. Means that when this will be at the top, we will have the maximum slide time. Let's see if it works. It should. Of course, you would say this is too much and it doesn't sound good. So my advice is always set this to the maximum and then go set here what you would like to hear. Perfect. If you want to add more stuff, still, you have 5 parameters. So track 1 still, let's send it to the reverb. So we set amp. Actually, let's do something different. We would say that we set the reverb send, but negative. So let's go here on the track page and we set reverb to the maximum. But the reverb will come here. Here it is, because it's from the main out. We can actually work around that and have the 4th track going here separately, and from here we will have only the effects, which is amazing. So how you do that? You go here in audio routing and you remove from main everything. Now you have from the main out only the effects bus of the Analog 4. This is another super cool trick. So now let's set up the reverb. And now as we push this on, we will have the slide and the reverb will decrease. How cool is that? And now we can do the same with, for example, here we want delay. Let's do the same with delay. So track 1. We don't hear any delay. Here it is. And we do the same. Whenever we push that out, the reverb goes away. So let's go here, track 1, reverb send. Delay send, sorry. These allow you to create a lot of very interesting combination. And there's nothing wrong in work, for example, with just one voice, send 5 different values to it. And also we can work with the button. So if you have, for example, something that you want to send or change drastically, let's do it. Let's go on Control 2. And on track 1, we set, for example, the sub oscillator. Now there's no sub oscillator, but we want it. You want it to latch, you latch it. It changed pitched, I don't know. It went down, transposed down. I don't know why. But it's okay. And you can play with many different ways. You can also open the filter, change the dynamic between the different tracks, and so on and on. So that's it for today, and I don't want to go too much. What I was trying to say since the beginning of this video is like, don't stop to the basic surface of your instrument. Like all of these tools generally offer a second layer, a second reading layer, where you can get into very, very interesting territory. And most of the time it's just by the use of a controller. MIDI controller could be like any knobs that you map to things. But also expression and sustain, I feel, is something that it's generally overlooked. Nobody really care about that and never use it. But the moment you had just a sustain pedal to your synth, things really can change. And something like this that you can put along on your desktop, it's very, very cool, and I'm not surprised that this is a very useful tool because it comes from Loopop. So thanks Endorphin and Loopop for sending me number 12 of +3. If you found this video interesting, please hit the like button and subscribe. And well, I'll see you next week. Ciao.